Have you always wanted to travel the world, didn't really know where to start? Well, today I'm going to explain to you how I got started, and hopefully inspire you to do the same. Hey guys, my name's Eric. Thanks for checking out my channel. You probably don't know me, and I don't blame you. I'm not some Instagram model, a superstar athlete, or some skilled artist. I'm just an average guy from Minnesota. But I have been lucky enough to get to some wonderful places, met some amazing people, and do some pretty incredible things. And I want to share those things with you. I plan on taking you along on some of my most memorable adventures, both ones from my past and ones that are yet to come, and share more about the world that's out there with all of you. Do you guys remember those activities that your teacher or your camp counselor used to ask you to do? Alright everybody, I'd like you to write 3 words that you think best describes you. Go ahead. Well, when I was younger and then I did these activities, the first word that would always be at the top of my list is adventurous. I imagine myself being the next Indiana Jones or Jacques Cousteau or Bear Grylls. But as I started to get older, I sort of gave up on that interest and started to settle into a comfort zone. You know, I went to college in my hometown. I visited my family a couple times a month, and I don't regret this at all. Their family and education are both extremely important to me, but this kind of became my norm. It became a comfort zone that I started to feel afraid to leave. I would always find reasons to not go and do something. Money or a job or family or education or school or work or whatever it was. There was always some reason not to do it. Not long ago, I had only been outside of the United States once, and that was a day trip to Canada when I was about 11 years old. In 2015, I got the opportunity to spend a couple months in Mexico and travel on my own. I was nervous and honestly I was scared to be away from anything that was familiar to me for that long. But I went, and I took that first step outside of my comfort zone. My time in Mexico was incredible and something I'm never going to forget. But did it go perfectly? Absolutely not. You know, I found myself being lonely and homesick at times. And actually, here's a little secret. I moved up my return date about 2 weeks because I was ready to come home. Some of you would see that as a failure. Eric, you couldn't even last 2 months away from home. You were in Mexico. What's wrong with you? To me, it was a success. I had successfully gone and stepped out of my comfort zone and had an amazing time in a new country that was unfamiliar to anything I've ever been to. On that trip, I learned that I could step out of my comfort zone. Yes, it's scary to take those first steps, but that's good. It can be a process, and that's okay. Challenging myself and approaching it with an open mind, I was surprised to find out how much I really could grow as a person. That's what I want to share with you today is, if there's something that you want to do, if you want to start traveling, step outside of that comfort zone. Like I said earlier, I'm just an average guy. I'm not some global traveler, but I've been slowly checking off some countries. One step at a time, I found myself further and further outside of my comfort zone. And the funny thing is now is that I'm okay with that. I'm exploring new countries and learning things from people that know so much about the world that I never would have been able to learn if I hadn't done these things. Right now I'm wrapping up 2 years living abroad in the Marshall Islands. I'm headed out onto some new exciting adventures after this. I'm actually going to be sailing around the Atlantic Ocean for a year. If you had asked me a couple years ago, would you go and live off in a foreign country for 2 years? I would have said, absolutely not. That's not me. If you told my 11-year-old self that, I would have said, only 2 years? I wouldn't have been able to get this experience that I'm going to have with sailing around the Atlantic Ocean without taking that first step and going to Mexico. And it seems like they're not connected, but taking those first steps outside of my comfort zone made me realize how much of the world there really is to see and how much of an incredible experience it really is. Eric, what's your point, right? My point is that just because you consider yourself an average person doesn't mean you can't partake in some incredible experiences. Step out of that comfort zone, test the water a little bit, even if it's just a little baby step, right? Start traveling, visit a state park, and go camping just for a night. Or reserve a hotel in the next state capital over. Or spend a couple days in a neighboring country and then see how you feel. You know, if it's too much, if you're too uncomfortable, maybe dial it back a little bit and you can find your comfort zone that way. Traveling isn't it for everyone, and I understand that. For a while, I wondered if it wasn't for me. But I realized that I'd rather take a chance and find out than live the rest of my life regretting and thinking, what if I had done that? Or I wish I had done that. This is heavy for my first video, but I wanted you guys to see who I am and why I'm here talking to you. With my channel, you're going to see me struggle, make mistakes, and grow as a person. But you're also going to witness some incredible places and experiences that will hopefully inspire you to go and take that first step. And hopefully you won't regret it. Here we go. I guess this is the thing. If you like what you saw, or you're looking forward to the videos that I have coming up, or just want to see where I'm headed next, please go ahead and subscribe. I'll try to upload a video about once a week, and let me know what you think of my videos in the comments. I'm starting fresh here, so any feedback is extremely helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.